Hello. I wish whoever's watching this an amazing day. Hope everyone is enjoying themselves. So, today we're going to talk about a common challenge that we encounter when someone has done wrong to us, right? Oftentimes, as human beings, we seek to see the other person punished, right? When we seek to see the other person punished, it often comes with a lot of really negative emotions, and not just for us, but it comes with negative emotions from the person who would be exerting the punishment. It comes with negative emotions for the person receiving the punishment. And there's a lot of what I would say is relationship bridge burning through this process, right? And when I was younger, this was a really hard thing to actively manage because internally you would think to yourself, or I would think to myself, right? Internally, I would think to myself, this person's wrong. They knew what they were doing. They chose to do it anyway. They deliberately sought out to cause me harm in whatever capacity, right? And I should not feel sorry for them, right? I should not show them mercy because they would not have shown me mercy in a similar situation. And the reality is that simply, while there are some times where that could be a little bit appropriate, typically speaking, it is not, right? And there's an old idiom that says you catch more flies with honey than vinegar, right? Which kind of applies here, right? Whenever you're in a situation where you have been done wrong, right, always try to find a win-win solution, right? And what I mean by this is a solution that allows the other party to maintain their reputation, to not feel like they lost, right? But still allows you to be taken care of and allows your needs to be met, right? In situations like this, when you find that win-win, everyone feels good about it. And typically, now this isn't 100% of the time, but typically the person who was going to be on the receiving end of your divine justice, right? Those people feel like, man, this is actually a decent human being. Like they went out of their way to help me, all right? They went out of their way to look out for me. And a good example that I can provide that I've witnessed out in my commercial experience, right? This example involved a situation where an employee had been going back and forth with the company regarding some stuff that the company shouldn't have done. There was a manager who was really out of line, had put the company in a substantial amount of administrative liability and civil lawsuit liability, right? And the employee understood their rights. The employee understood that they had the company on the rope and they knew that they would win. They knew that the company's failure to take action more quickly also would further enhance their winnings. They knew that they could pretty much ruin the career of multiple senior managers, not just their immediate supervisor, but 2 supervisors above as well. In the situation that they were faced with when it finally went to arbitration and they had the opportunity to address the matter, right? It was proposed that an award be issued instead of an apology letter, right? In the context of an award, okay, and this is just some of the stuff, I'm not going to go into full details of the settlement, but as the award piece of it, basically, what the employee was seeking was the organization to acknowledge in writing what had happened and to make amends for it, basically to apologize for what happened, right? And what better win-win solution is there than instead of an apology letter, you receive an award, right? And the award was for the employees. Now, of course, again, nuances in this. The award was for the employee's ability to push forward despite the personal risk. It highlighted the employee's temerity. It highlighted the employee's tenacity. It highlighted the employee's desire to fix the situation so that other people didn't experience the same things, right? This was a very very acknowledging award, right? It highlighted the struggles that the employee went through while simultaneously showing the impact that the employee had through their actions and deciding to continue to stay the course and help the organization correct itself. Everyone involved in this award process felt substantially better and fought it substantially less than what they would have felt having to write an apology letter that covered the same topics. Further into this settlement agreement, this particular situation that I have familiarity with, the employee, rather than punish everyone up and down the chain for what they did wrong, the employee instead focused on establishing training programs with auditing elements in place to ensure that the organization met their milestones. This was another thing that further ensured that the organization was interlayering strategies to ensure, hey, these problems are not persisting in the future, while also, acknowledging what the employee went through. There's a lot more involved here, but at the end of the day, there was a little bit of take, right? Because the employee still got a cash settlement for everything that happened. But the employee felt that the situation was appropriately handled. The management felt that the employee was not being vindictive and that the employee was giving them an opportunity to be better and learn from their mistakes. And this allowed all the working relationships to continue, whereas if the employee would have gunned for the neck the way that management had gunned for the employee's neck, right? Because this did happen. The employee was targeted systematically for many months. If the employee would have done the same thing, no one would have had the opportunity to be any better, and there would have been a lot of angst, a lot of animosity, a lot of frustration, and the next supervisor that came on board that would be in charge of that employee would know that that employee had the last supervisor fired, which would automatically paint a new level of context for how that supervisor would be engaging with that employee, and that is not a good thing, right? Try to look and see where you can find these mutual wins, right? Try to look to where you're not just going after justice in the aspect of punishment. Punishment isn't always something that's a necessity. Now, there are some people in organizations that are bad people. They need their toxic leadership. They need to be removed. But typically speaking, when you encounter someone in toxic leadership, that person is a toxic leader because either A, they don't know how to be a better leader, or B, because things have happened to them as a leader that cause them to adjust their course into the way that they're doing right now. So if you identify the root cause of that behavior, then you can help improve their leadership styles, which in turn benefits everyone else. Typically speaking, someone who is a manager will go on to be a manager somewhere else. This is a problem that just gets kicked down the road. If you don't address it, you can't fix it. Well, anyway, thank you for your time today. I hope everyone has a great day.